holidays. Good morning, and welcome to Mindful Movement with AARP Alabama. I'm your host, Margie Curry, and today's session is with yoga instructor Becca Impello. We want to remind you that AARP is empowering people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization with more than 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate on their behalf, all of them, without regard to politics. Since the pandemic began, AARP has continued to provide opportunities for people to stay engaged in their own homes. Mindful Movement provides an opportunity for you to be moving in the safety in your own home. Our instructor today, Becca. Hi, Becca.
Good morning, Margie. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas to you too.
Are you ready?
I guess so.
Right. We're going to be ready. Ready or not, it's going to come, right?
It's going to come. That's right. Can you tell us a little bit about what we're going to be working on today?
Yeah, absolutely, Margie. So today we'll be moving our body as we always try to incorporate. We'll do most of it seated in the chair and some of it standing, but we're not getting down on the floor at all today. So all you need is a comfortable chair to sit in.
Okay.
And then I'm going to focus today a bit on joy. So this is, tis the season. It's the season of joy typically, although it is sometimes a hard season for people as well. So we'll do a lot of sort of heart opening, heart lifting type of movements and breath. And we'll do a little bit of that affirmation meditation at the end where we just give ourselves an opportunity to remember that we can find joy and we can celebrate joy even in small things. And this is a great time of year to do that.
It really is. It really is. And I want everyone to remember that before you begin any exercise routine, you should consult with your physician to be sure it's safe for you to participate. And today we're going to have a survey that we want you to take part in because we want to hear what you have to say about our program today. And if you have any questions for Becca, please put them in the chat also. Okay, Becca, let's get started.
All right, Margie, here we go. So absolutely, like Margie said, we really appreciate it when you fill out our survey. That link will be in the notes for the show. That just helps us know and helps AARP Alabama know what you want in terms of programming. And certainly give us any comments or questions throughout the program to this today so I can answer those if I need to. All right, so we're going to start seated. We're going to start with a little bit of breathing work, okay? We're going to do one particular breath practice that was taught to me by one of my teachers, and she called it the breath of joy. And it is a breath practice that tends to make you feel a little exhilarated and a little more lively or a little more elevated. So I'll get to that in just a moment. And of course, I'll be giving you some options, some choices for how you might do that breath work, depending on what you think is going to work best for you. But let's just do a little loosening up first. Sit in the front of your chair or sit up tall and do a few shoulder rolls. Just get those shoulders moving, bring them forward and up, and then squeeze them back and down. Remember that anything I instruct you in, especially the movement stuff, you have choice. Always have choice. That might mean you choose not to do something, or it might mean you choose to make it a little smaller or a little bigger or a little slower or a little faster. You can just modify and change things as you see fit. All right. Now let's just turn the head side to side a few times. We'll just see if we can help to loosen up the neck. We'll go ahead and do a couple of neck circles. So the next time your chin is over towards one shoulder, drop it down and start pulling it slowly across the chest, over to the other shoulder, and up over the top. Now let's do that circle again. Down to the shoulder, across the chest, over to the other shoulder and up. Now let's reverse direction and just go the other way around your circle. Good. Last time. Good. And then bring it back to center. Now take those arms down at your sides and shake them out. Just give it a good shake, shake, shake. Circle out the wrists. open and close the hands a few times. Good, and then let's just take a few steadying breaths. And you can do this with arm movement, or you can leave your arms, your hands in your lap if you prefer. So take a nice deep breath in and maybe reach those arms with the breath up. Exhale. And breathe it all out. Maybe those hands drop down to your lap. Inhale, big breath in through the nose. You might exhale through the nose, or you might choose to exhale through the mouth. Either one, whatever feels natural to you. 2 more of these breaths. This is just to sort of set our breath rhythm, settle it down. 1 more. Now this time when you exhale, I want you to just go ahead and bring those hands to your heart. Just lay those hands right there on your chest, on your heart center. And you can close your eyes or keep them open. So when we think about joy, we typically associate that emotion, that feeling with the heart center, okay? So like I said, we'll be doing some things that bring our attention to our heart center and maybe stretch or open the chest and the heart. But for right now, I want you just to place those hands on your heart and maybe close your eyes. And without changing your mouth, without changing your face at all, I want you to imagine that a big, joyful smile is spreading across your face. So again, you're not actually smiling, but just see if you can imagine the feeling of a smile. Imagine that something has just happened, that you've just witnessed something or heard something that really sparked a little bit of joy, or maybe a lot of joy, and you feel this smile kind of creep into your being. Now imagine that you're smiling in your heart, right there across your chest. What is that feeling of a smile like? That's the feeling of joy. All right, now take those arms down to your sides. We're going to do our breath of joy next. So let me just explain a bit. The breath of joy is going to be 3 short inhales, kind of like that, through the nose, okay? And then exhale, that's through the mouth. And I'm going to encourage you to make a little bit of sound, a little bit of noise. It helps us to release the emotion. So the inhales are 3 short breaths through the nose. Ha! And then the exhale is a ha sound through the mouth. Okay, and you can do the breath practice without any arm movements, or you can add some arms that look like this. The inhales, the arms up, out, and up, and then exhale, and just drop the arms down. Okay, so we're going to do the first round seated, and then you're going to have the option, if you want to do a second round standing up, but it'll be your choice. Now we're going to do 5 rounds of this breath of joy, but I want you to stop sooner than that if you want to. Maybe 2 breaths of joy is enough to trigger a little bit in you. Okay, so if you get any discomfort, any dizziness, you just go ahead and stop. All right, so let's try the breath of joy for 5 rounds of breath. Here we go. You'll start with me. 3 short inhales. Exhale. Ha. Ready? Here we go. Ha. 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 1 more. Ha. Now take a deep breath in. Hold it. And then let it out. And if your arms are up, let them fall into your lap, and just pause a moment. See if you feel that sensation of like a smile spreading in your face or in your chest, or even right there in your hands. All right, now we're going to do it again. We're going to do 1 more round. You can stay seated with or without the arms, or you can come to standing. And it's pretty much the same. The arms go up, out, up. Let me move back a little bit. The arms go up, out, up, and then the exhale, ha, you can bend those knees and fold forward or sort of sit down a little bit if you want to. Okay, so remember, you can do this seated. You can do it without arms. You don't have to do 5. See what it feels like for you to do a couple. All right, here we go. Breath of joy. Ha. 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 1 more. Ha. Now big breath in. Hold it. And let it out. And just pause. And again, see if you feel a little energy lift. See if you feel a little buzz. Should make you feel at least a little sort of more alert, if not a little more joyful. All right. Now, we'll stay seated for these next couple of movements. All right. We're going to start with a little heart opening. Bring the hands up to the heart with the palms together. And then inhale. I want you to pull those elbows to shoulder blades back. Maybe lift your chin. And then exhale, push it forward and get a little rounded. Inhale and pull back, lift the chest, the chin up. Exhale and push forward. Good. Keep that going. Nice big breath in and out through the nose if possible. Excellent. One more. Good. Now pull those arms back and down. I want you to reach the arms back behind you. Open and close the hands a few times. Take a deep, full breath into your chest. Open and close those hands. And then drop the arms down. Now we'll take a little twist here next, all right? So sit tall, turn, and you can bring one arm to the back of your chair and the other arm can come to the opposite knee if that works for you. And just take a few breaths here. We want to lift and turn from that heart center. Lift and turn from the chest. And here, as we pause in this twist, I want you to imagine your smile sensation. Come back to awareness of your heart and imagine the warmth of a smile spreading across your heart. Now bring it back to center. Pause a moment. Feel the remnants of that twist in your body. And then sit tall, inhale, and then exhale, turn the other direction. Find a place for your arms, maybe the back of your chair, maybe down by your seat. Hand across to that opposite leg if it can reach. And then as you stay here in the twist, find that lift with the breastbone, that turn of the chest and the shoulders, and breathe into that space. See if you can feel that smile spread across the heart center. All right, and then bring it back to center and pause. Feel the remnants of that twist there in your body. Good, now drop your arms down to your sides. If your shoulders limit you for this next one, feel free to do the movement with the arms at your sides rather than the arms reaching overhead, okay? So let's take one arm up if you're able to and stretch it over. So we stretch through the side body, get the rib cage lengthened. Push down into the chair with your seat to get taller. And then bring it back to center and pause. And then the other side, reach one arm up if it'll go, up and over, bending that torso, that trunk of the body, getting that rib cage waistline nice and open. And then come back to center. Pause a moment. Let's do that one again. So stretch up and over. Good. Now this time, whether your arm is up or down, you can still do the movement. You might try hand behind your head as another in-between option, or hand on the hip. And we're going to try and roll our chest a little more forward and down, and then roll that chest a little more up towards the ceiling. So just a little rotation in with our side bending. Again, we're trying to mobilize this heart center. Good, two more. And bring it back to center and pause. Let's go the other way. So remember your arm choices. That arm can reach up and over and it can stay there, or it could come to the back of the head, or you might keep it down on your hip or your waist, all right? And then we're trying to rotate that rib cage, the chest forward, and rotate rotate it back or up towards the ceiling, and just go back and forth. Whether your movement's big or small, it's your movement. Feel it in your body. Good. 2 more. And then bring it back to center and pause. All right, let's do a little bit of work for the legs and the hips now. We'll do just a little loosening up of the knees and the ankles first. Sit tall. If you like, you can hold on to your chair for a little more support. And then just take one leg and nice and easy, bend and straighten that knee. If you've got some tightness or stiffness in your knee, we'll just go gingerly and make the movement small until it feels like you can make them bigger. Good. Pay attention to how it feels in this leg. Maybe that thigh muscle is starting to get a little fatigued. Maybe you feel that building up. Now let's hold that foot forward for another couple of moments and give the ankle some movement. Point and flex. And then take it through a couple of circles. Good. Drop that leg down. Other side when you're ready. Start with just that slow bend and straighten of the knee. You go as far in each direction as your knee seems to be okay with. See if it changes as you do a few rounds. Good. Notice if you feel some fatigue starting to come into that thigh. Let's hold it forward and do our ankle point and flex, point and flex. Make a couple of big, slow circles. Get the pops and the creaks out of there. Good. And then take it down. All right, now let's just pivot a little bit in the chair. Turn sideways if you can, or part way to the side if you've got an armrest or something in the way. And you're going to see if you can get that front leg to position so that it drops to point down at the ground somewhat. So the knee pointing down, and then see if you can get a little squeeze of the buttock. Put the hand that's in front, put that hand up there on your heart center and lift up. Lift up through the chest. Now this back foot, maybe it's tucked under like I'm showing right now, or maybe it's turned flat. So it could be either way. Take another breath right into that heart center. Then we're going to add a little bit of arm motion. If you choose not to do the arm motion, no problem. Keep your hand here and keep breathing. All right. If you want to take that front arm, reach it up and pull it right down to the heart. Reach it up. Maybe look up, pull it right down to the heart. Reach it up, pull it down. One more time. Good. Bring it back to the front. Turn it all the way to the other side. We'll just go right to the other side. Same thing. You can, again, maybe you position your foot with the toes tucked, maybe the top of the foot down. All right. Get a little squeeze in that buttock here for the leg that's dropping towards the floor. Hold on to the back of your chair. I don't think I said that with the first time, but certainly you can use that other arm to hold. And then put that forward arm right there on that heart center. Lift up into it. You can keep the hand here the whole time, or you can move it with the breath. Inhale to reach it up. Exhale to bring it back down to the heart. Reach up maybe, or big breath in if your arm is staying down. 2 more. Turn it back to the front. Pause a moment here. All right, we're going to do a hip stretch next. So a little stretch for those glutes. This one is where we cross the ankle up to the knee. Now, if that's too high for your leg, it doesn't go that high. Here's a couple things you can do. One, that supporting leg can extend out a little bit longer, and then your cross will be lower, right? So that might work. You could even cross down at the shin instead of on the thigh, and you're still getting some turn out of the foot. If you've got some yoga blocks or a ottoman or a stool or something, that could be where you put your foot instead of your other leg. So there are some choices there if you've got some of that stuff to play around with. Okay, so find your position, sit up tall, keep that heart center lifted, and maybe lean into it just a little bit. That part's optional. You may not need to do much additional crossing. Sometimes is plenty. All right, take a few breaths here. See if you feel sensation in your outer hip or your glute or the back of your thigh. Those are all places you might feel this. We don't want to feel anything at the knee. So if you feel this tweaking your knee, you need to choose one of those other positions that I suggested. Let's give it 2 more breaths here. All right, and then we'll release it and take that foot down. Pause for a breath. Noticing how that hip, that leg feels. And then the other side. So again, you're going to find your cross. Ankle to the knee. Maybe you'll extend that leg down a little bit, cross the leg with a little less height, or use some kind of stool or block for support. Sit up nice and tall. Maybe lean into it. A couple more breaths here. See if you feel the sensation of your hip, your glute, your thigh muscles, getting a little bit of a stretch here. Good. And then let's release. Now we're going to do one thing in standing. If you prefer to stay seated today, you can stay right here in your chair and you can do the arm movements along with us if you don't prefer to stand, okay? If you're okay getting up from your chair for a moment, this is a fairly simple one. If you're standing, you're going to take your feet out a little wide, your toes turned out. Now you're still going to have choice, of course. You can make the squat part of this low if you want to really work your thighs and your glutes, or you can keep it a little bit shallow if you want. Okay, so we're going to take a breath in and stretch out like sort of like a starfish, right? So arms out to a V. Feet are out wide if you're standing. You can lift your chest. You can lift your chin like you're looking up at a bright, sunny day. The sky is beautiful and you're feeling all that joyful warmth. We don't really have that today, but just let's imagine. And then exhale, you're going to bring your hands to your heart center. And if you're standing, you're going to squat down. If you're seated in the chair, you bring your hands here. You don't have to worry about the squat. All right, let's do that a couple times. Inhale. Spread out, lift up, fingers open. Exhale, bring that joy right down into your heart. Inhale, reach out, exhale. Now keep going, but let's see, can you alternate which hand goes right on the chest and which hand goes on top of that other one? So you may have a pattern where you do it the same way each time, but see if you can alternate. So your right hand to your heart first, and then the next time, your left hand to your heart first. Let's do 4 more. Big look up, maybe a big smile on your face and in your eyes. Exhale and bring that joy into the heart. Two more. Good. All right. Now let your arms drop down to your sides. If you're standing, walk your feet in a little bit and just check in. Notice how you feel. How did those big, wide open reaches and that attention to your heart center, how did it make you feel? Did it make you feel a little sense of lift or joy? All right, we're going to finish up seated in the chair. We've got one more stretch to do. That's a nice opener for the heart, the chest. And then we'll be doing that little meditation with some affirmations related to joy. Now, depending on your chair, you might be able to reach back and hold on to some part of the chair. Okay, so just see what you got. Okay, maybe it's down on the seat of the chair. Maybe it's back on the seat back. Maybe for some, it's even down on the legs if your arms are long. But see if there's something that you can hold on to. And if there's not, if you have a strap or a towel handy, you could put that behind your back and you could hold it. And if you don't have anything and you can't reach your chair, it's still okay. You're going to get a nice heart opening by reaching your arms back. You may just need to take a break since you don't have anything to hold on to and let your arms drop down every now and then. All right, so you're reaching back, maybe you're holding on, and you're lifting up through that breastbone. You can lift the chin, but don't hurt your neck. So it's fine to keep it level or make it just a small lift. Now I want you to breathe into that chest. Big breath in, right into the fronts of the shoulders. Imagine that smile spreading across like it's going right underneath your collarbones from shoulder to shoulder. Maybe put a smile on your face as you take a few more breaths here. One more big breath. And then you're going to release. If you're holding on to something, let your arms drop. You could scoot further back in your chair. You could get a little more support if you want. And if you'd like, you can take those hands and you can rest them on your heart center as we do our affirmations. And you can close your eyes if you'd like. So let's just first settle. Maybe you still feel a little heart beating fast or feel a little exhilaration from the things we've done in our practice today. So just observe those sensations. And then you can repeat these affirmations either out loud or in your head to yourself after I say them. All right. Here we go. Our affirmations for recognizing and celebrating joy. I will know joy when I see it. I will know joy when I feel it. I will celebrate joys big and small. I will recognize and celebrate the joys of others. I'm going to go through all of those again one more time. You repeat them after me to yourself. I will know joy when I see it. I will know joy when I feel it. I will celebrate joys big and small. I will recognize and celebrate the joy of others. And so just take a few more moments here. And if things come to your mind that have sparked joy in you recently, I want you just to recall those moments and recall the feeling that that joyful moment brought to you. And if you've been fortunate enough to see joy in someone else recently, or you'll have that opportunity coming up in the next few days, I want you to remember what that's like to see someone else's face light up with joy and their heart lift. That's a celebration for all, not just for one. All right, so let's bring the hands together, palms together, lift up, sit tall, open the eyes. Just bow the head with a bit of gratitude for the joy of the season and all the joys that we get to celebrate, big or small. I hope you have plenty of them this season, and I will hope to bring and share more with you in the new year. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great holiday season and a happy new year.
Thank you so very much, Becca. Your affirmations have been just such a great support to me. And I really do thank you so very much. And thank you from AARP Alabama for doing such a wonderful job. This past 2021, we thank you so very much.
It's
We
been
want
wonderful.
everyone to remind you, please go ahead and take our survey. And if you have any further questions for Becca, please put them in the chat. We thank you for joining us this morning, and we hope you have a happy holiday. And we look to see you again on next Tuesday at 10 o'clock a.m. for Mindful Movement. Happy holidays, everybody.